Shalom Rastafari, Assalamu Alaikum, peace to the kings and the queens of the earth. How's everybody doing this Friday? Hope everyone had a great week and finishing off the week, no matter what. Hope you got some just good rest and some good vibes around you. That's very important. Today I wanted to go into a couple of subjects. But first, before I started about what I had to talk about today, I want to give just a shout out and thank you to the few people who checked in. I posted some racist vandalism that was done locally in my area. But thank goodness that looks like pretty much that, the authorities contacted me and basically said they forwarded to the hate crime unit. I got some calls this morning about it, but I just figured that, it's been in the good right hands right now. So thank everyone who's when posted the picture and checked in, and the local authorities are pretty quick on it. So when I walk by the gym, we'll see if it's still there. If it's still there, we'll see what's going on. But today I wanted to talk about a man in the Rastafari community. Some say he is the first Rasta. Some say he's the second Rasta. And some say he's one of the biggest ones to proclaim the prophecy of looking toward the east for us and having us a king to look forward to in his Christ-like character. And that is the man of Leonard Howell. A lot of people really look over Leonard Howell. They go to Marcus Garvey, right? But one of the first people in this situation was Leonard Howell. Leonard Howell was literally born in Panama and moved to NYC. He was the one that made that call to Ethiopia really during the time. He was part of the UNIA, not the ONIA, the UNIA, which is United Negro National Association. And that was part of the Marcus Garvey team. And literally, he was the one that looked and said, look toward the east and look toward the crowning of Rastafari Makonnen, which is King Selassie I. And he was really adamant about the Messiah. He was the Messiah returning to earth. So Leonard Howell really predicted a lot of this Rastafari stuff before anyone even called themselves Rastafari. Leonard Howell never wore locks either, right? He never wore locks. So it was one of those situations where I remember when I was getting into the Rasta faith, I didn't have locks, right? I didn't think I was going to ever grow them. I kind of get to the situation where I just did it and was able to wear a hat at work for a while during my mini Afro days, and then finally getting twisted toward the end of that. But Leonard Howell never had locks, never did any of those things like that. But he was a pillar in this situation. It is not even close to it. He basically, he was arrested for sedation. He went and basically escaped, went back to Panama. He was chastised. He was the part of the team that when they deported Marcus Garvey, they didn't just deport Marcus Garvey. They deported most of the UNIA, and they deported Leonard Howell in the process. They were really scared of strong men, of strong people who had vision, who had drive, and who, to me, are special people. His nickname is Gong. There's Junior Gong and there's Real Gong. And Leonard Howell is, to me, should be respected on a whole different level. We don't talk about him again. We talk about Marcus Garvey, like I keep saying. But he exactly was the one. He was the one that even brought the Trinity type of situation to it. Again, he was the one that literally spoke about the Queen Sheba and King Selassie connection in their meeting. No one was talking about this stuff until Leonard Howell came through. He didn't just do this prediction. He had the Kibber Nagast. I have the Kibber Nagast now. And he literally went through there and, like I said, put the work in right next to Marcus Garvey. I think Marcus Garvey, you understand, was more of the megaphone. He had an amazing leadership. He had an amazing way to talk about it, but he had some people around him that were definitely supporting, and he was definitely, let's say, extending or expanding their message through his voice. So we had to give it up for Marcus Garvey, but to me, I don't know if there's not much of a Marcus Garvey without Leonard Howell. I really don't, and we don't talk about him much more in the Rastafari community. I know in my camp, in my Rasta Conan, and my leader, my Rasta Adonis, for our champ, whatever, we have always talked about Leonard Howell. He's pushed Leonard Howell. He was talking about Leonard Howell years ago, right? He had a song about Leonard Howell. No one talks about Leonard Howell. And yeah, he had a song about it. So at the end of the day, I'm just giving giving a little bit of this food analysis. It's a quick one today. But I wanted to give some flowers on this Friday and this Sabbath Eve to Leonard Howell. And if you don't know, if you're Rastafari and you don't know, then you should know, you should catch up. But this is a person who, to me, he went against colonization. He spoke like fiercely against the Babylonian system. And he was right there. I mean, I'm talking about, he was born in 1860. I think, was it born in 1898, I believe? Yes, 1898. And he lived a pretty long life. He passed away in 1980s, the year after I was born. I'm sorry, a year before I was born. But he was part of that regime and part of that lineage and part of that, last generation of people, our ancestors, to really speak up. And, when I'm reading my history, I can see how some of these people started coming to the forefront. I'm getting to that point. I'm in the 1860s and 1870s in my book, Stand from the Beginning by Ibram X. And it's to me one of the best books I've ever read in my fucking life. I'll literally say that. And it's it was amazing. It was amazing. And Leonard was I can't keep talking more about it because it's just like I can talk all day, to be honest with you, about more of our people who are stepping up in the Rastafari faith. But to me, he's a leader. He's one of the biggest leaders. If it's Selassie, then it's Leonard Howell, Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, a couple of people who are just artists, but Bobo Shante. Like there's so many people, but Leonard Howell, before anyone locked their hair up, before anyone started becoming Rastafari and really doing anything, Leonard Howell called that out. So I wanted to just give some quick shout out and flowers to Leonard Howell. To me, the first Rasta and true OG of this Rastafari lifestyle. So it's Friday, man. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank those people who are listening all the time. I continue to do this for y'all. And like I said, I hope everyone is having a great day and a great Friday. I hope you really get some sun or relax or get healthy in any way you can. And remember that, it always gets better. Things are tough sometimes, but, there's times where I don't even know, in the beginning of the day, I don't even know how I'm going to get through the day. And by the end of the day, not only that I got through it, but everything was, all my needs and wants were provided. So somehow, some way, it's little things, and there's always good people in your life that'll help out too. So much love to everybody. Talk to you soon.